What's going on, guys? Hey. Jessica Cooper here, reporting live from my kitchen table. What is going on, guys? My name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. Last week I opened up about my testimony and how I really wanted to just start talking about my faith on this channel. So it got me thinking, what is something else that I know something about right now? Like, what is something I can share with you guys right now that is practical and that could possibly help you out? But about a year and a half ago, when I completely committed my heart to the Lord, I remember I was like, okay, God, like, I surrender. I'm not doing life the old way again. My heart is yours. Now what? I knew that this was a decision that I was making and that I was really excited to make it, but I really didn't know like what the next step was. I kind of just figured it out along the way. And I know there's no like right or wrong way to do it, but I know a lot of people are probably in a similar boat where they're like, okay, like I know this is a step that I am taking in my faith and that this is something I want to do and I know it's the right decision, but what does that really look like for me? What is the next thing that I do? And after reflecting on my journey, I thought, you know, maybe I can kind of simplify some of the steps that I've taken to get here thus far. Don't think that my path is going to lead you to success. I do not have all the answers. I hope that you can take some bits and pieces with you on your journey. So something that I had to do and that I would have, Sadie. Sorry, the dog just whatever that was. Something that I had to do was I had to change up my environment. I've always been a big product of my environment, so I know if there's something going on that I tend to kind of lean towards and that's something that I'm trying to get away from, it's best that I just don't even put myself in that position. I really believe in the phrase, if you don't want to fall, don't walk where it's slippery. At the time that I was getting serious about my relationship with God, I was lucky enough that my lease was coming to an end. I knew that the people I was hanging out with at the time were just not entirely conducive to the kind of change that I wanted to make. And I was like, you know what? I am going to just go move somewhere else. Maybe you can't up and move out of your house. So I would recommend just identifying your problem spots or areas in your life that you know that you kind of struggle in and go, okay, what do I kind of need to separate myself from right now? For example, maybe putting yourself around alcohol has caused you a lot of problems and caused you to kind of lead a lifestyle that you're trying to get away from. For a little while, you might have to just make sure you don't put yourself in that position. So whether that's just avoiding bars for a little bit or not ordering a certain kind of drink. And I am not saying do this forever, but at least until you are strong enough to put yourself back in that environment without it really affecting you or without it really being a temptation in your life. Before I sought my identity over here, so that when I went over here and got some clarity, I was able to take that clarity with me when I came back. Does that make sense? And I understand that sometimes it is just unavoidable. You're invited to a party, you have to go to this thing. So just use your discretion. Something else that I believe is super important is you need to get connected. I don't know how you came to find the Lord the way that you did, so whether it was church or whatever, it's really important to find a group of other believers that can also pour into you. When I first recommitted my life to the Lord, I joined a Bible study, and those people are now my best friends, and I know that this group I might not necessarily stay with forever, but because of them, I grew deeper in my relationship with the Lord, and it helped me be brave enough in order to go make other believing friends. Because once again, what I just said, we tend to be products of our environment. So if you have people around you that are constantly pouring into you and sharing the word with you and encouraging you in your walk, I believe that you're gonna have a much better success rate of staying on the path that you are trying to be on. And I'm not saying you can't have unbelieving friends. In fact, that's actually extremely important. But it is necessary to have some believing friends because they are going to be there to support you when other people might not. If that is something that you were struggling with and you don't even really know where to start, please let me know. Leave a comment. I can help you find churches that are in your area. I can help you look up Bible studies. We'll get it all squared away. Just make sure you let me know in the comments below. Another thing to keep in mind is that you do not owe anybody explanations. I could be wrong, but a lot of the times you're gonna come across the case where you feel like you owe people explanations. When I first recommitted, I found myself just saying no to a lot of things, and a lot of things some of my old friends were trying to ask me to do, and because if I'm being really honest, a lot of people aren't gonna get it. They're not gonna understand why you're wanting to make these changes in your life and why you're pursuing this relationship with God, and it's just gonna get exhausting to sit there and feel like you have to explain your life choices to somebody. You just gotta do what you gotta do. Some people you might want to explain it to. There are gonna be people that are really close in your circle, whether they're close friends or family members, that will kind of wonder what you're doing. And whether they totally get it or they totally don't, I think at some point, those people in your inner circle, they're gonna have to know what's going on with you. And kind of on that same topic, I think that some people commit their lives to the Lord and think that their life is gonna be like instantly easier. Now, I'm not saying that your life isn't going to be better. A lot of the time I find that something well worth doing isn't always the easiest thing to do. There's a lot of things that have been tough to do on this journey. For example, for me, my pride definitely took a hit. I knew that committing my life to the Lord meant like certain friends just weren't gonna hang around me anymore. But after finding the right Bible study, the right disciple group, getting involved in church, suddenly like all of the things that I was worried about, like those friends not liking me and whatever, like it didn't seem to matter so much. And God replaced them with people that really did pour into me. I really believe as you really follow what the Lord has on your heart, He's not gonna just like, He's not gonna call you to something without equipping you along the way. Yes, there'll be little things that might be like, this is hard, God, but it's kind of like working out in the sense that it might hurt in the short term, but the result is well worth it. And it's important to be mindful of the fact like you're human, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna slip. If and when you do your best not to beat yourself up too much. Because the really cool part about how God works is that the closer you get to Him, the more you kind of become aware of like your own issues. So even on the times that I have slipped, each time I slipped, that slip became more unappetizing. So it's like I would return back to an old habit just because I would get curious again and I'd be like, maybe I should do this again. And then I do that thing again and it just like doesn't have that thrill that it used to have. And I would get really mad at myself at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, I slipped. But then I would remember like, wow, like I didn't even actually enjoy that at all. And then if I slipped again, doing that same thing after that, I would find that that next time around, I was like, you know what, this isn't so great. I'm done. I find that those bad habits, those things I was doing just kind of tend to fall away when you're really walking with the Lord. But we are human. We mess up even when we don't want to. If you want a prime example, look at Apostle Paul in Romans 7. He says, I do not do what I want to do. Instead, I do the very thing that I hate. You do that dumb thing, you're like, why did I just do that? Remember, Apostle Paul did it too. So obviously, don't beat yourself up too much. At the same time, do your best to hold yourself accountable and make sure your believing friends also hold you accountable. Lastly, I know I've already kind of said this, but like, you don't have to be like a stickler. You don't have to be like not fun. Just be mindful. Know the path you're on. Sometimes when I'm down and I'm like thinking that like my life is not going the way that I want it to, I kind of bring myself back down to earth and think, but gosh, you know what? This is just so much better than where I've been. So yeah, that's all I really got. I don't know if I did that great of a job. That is just speaking from experience because this past year and a half has just been like the craziest year and a half of learning and growing. And I hope that maybe a couple of these little things that I've kind of figured out along the way make sense to you and will help you. There's no right way to do this. Everybody has their own unique story. Regardless, I am so excited for you and your journey. Feel free to leave in the comments below if you have other things that you want me to talk about, other things that you want me to cover. As I said, I am still learning myself, so there's a lot of stuff I really might not have the best answers to, but I can certainly try. My name is Jessica. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Have a blessed day. I love you. Bye-bye.